Very good morning to all of you. Today in this video we are starting with lesson number 1, history. Some part of lesson number 1, history had been taught to you in the previous video. Today we are continuing after that. Okay. So in my last video I dropped over the agriculture and domestic practices of Harappans. We are starting with that only once again. Okay, so agriculture and domestic practices of Harappans. Clear? On that day, in the last video, I had cleared you 2 or 3 points. Okay, on this topic. So I am beginning with that only. First and foremost, agriculture or domestic practice of Harappan was that they had understanding, they had practice of use of bull or ox in employing. Means agriculture purpose. For agriculture purpose, they were using oxen. They were using bull. Okay, bull plowing was a practice. Okay, in Harappan civilization, in almost all the sites of Indus Valley area. Okay, where evidence of plowing has been discovered from many of the sites, but a particular field had been excavated in Kalibanga, which is plowed. Okay, which is found plowed, means it is evidence that Harappans had knowledge of plowing. Okay, for plowing they were using bull. Where it has been found, this particular evidence of plowed field had been discovered at Kalibanga. Where Kalibanga was one of the sites, one of the prominent sites of Harappan. There, okay. Second is terracotta models. Terracotta means made of earth. Okay, those particular tools, those particular pots, those particular utensils which are made up of soil, made up of earth. Okay, mitti se bane bartan. That is called, this particular practice is called terracotta. Okay, so many of the domestic utensils, may be pitcher, matka, may be simple pot, bowl. Okay, they were made up of soil. Means Harappans had knowledge of pottery. Harappans had knowledge of how to make pottery. Okay, so many of these earth-made, soil-made equipments, soil-made utensils, soil-made bowls, soil-made, earth-made, mitti se bane. Many models have been discovered. Terracotta models have been discovered in many of Harappan sites. May it be Harappa itself, may it be Kalibanga, may it be Shotugadi, may it be Rakigadi, may it be Mohenjo-daro, may it be Dholavira. All okay, almost all these sites we have historians have discovered many of terracotta models. So pottery or the terracotta practices were very good in its extent. Third practice of Harappans was irrigation. If you observe almost all the sites of Harappan civilization, okay, you will find that all these were located in semi-arid area. What do you mean by semi-arid? Semi-arid means some area which does not receive very good rainfall. Okay, area which is having scanty rainfall or not very good enough rainfall. An area which is not having a good enough rainfall would be semi-arid. In that case, definitely for the second crop or for even one crop, they would be needing irrigation. They would be trying to collect the water whatever they have received. Okay, so in that case, they were making up of water reservoirs, maybe small ponds, talabs. Okay, they were making it. Okay, and from that particular water reservoir up to their field, they were supplying the water through canals. Okay, so irrigation pattern was the practice of Harappans. Okay, means right from today's time, 5,000 old years ago was the Harappan civilization. They had knowledge of irrigation up to that particular period. Okay, for irrigation purpose, they were making up of canals. Okay, canals were made up from the water reservoir, maybe pond, maybe big some construction. Okay, up to their field. Okay, so for the 2 canals, they were supplying the water to the field if rain is not there. Second thing, they were also making up of wells. This is a very good practice still in even Rajasthan, even Gujarat, in Punjab also, okay, to extract the groundwater, okay, because all these areas were semi-arid, okay, they used not to receive very good rainfall, so in due to that they used to exploit the groundwater, okay. Even in today's time, you could, if you visit some of the rural areas of Rajasthan, you would be able to find that farmers irrigate their fields by extracting groundwater from the wells in their fields. Is it clear? So this practice is as old as of the Harappan times, means 5,000 years old from today's time. Okay, clear? So that was the third practice. Okay, clear? First was use of wool, second was terracotta models, okay, third was third was irrigation. Okay, clear? So they had knowledge of this thing. Now, next is use of stone blades. Okay, this is really very surprising and very useful also. Means up to that time they had not iron weapons, okay, for cutting of the things, for the breaking of the things. They were making the tools which were made up of stones only. Okay, you would have seen a sickle. Okay, this type of particular weapon in which this question mark type of weapon you would have seen, in which this particular portion is a wooden handle on which a particular stony blade had set up on a wooden handle. Okay, these days this stony blade is not there. These days iron blade is used, which is set up in a wooden handle. Okay, this is called sickle. These days we use iron blade set up in a wooden handle, okay, to cut the crops. Okay, sickle bolte hain. It is called sickle. It is called hasiya in vernacular, local language. Okay, sickle, clear, hasiya. Okay, clear. But in those days, in Harappan times, this blade, which is presently of iron, in those times it used to be of stone. Okay, so stone blades they were using for cutting off of the crops, for cutting off the hard thing and something like that. Okay, clear. Okay, use of sickles I have told you. Okay, sickle is a domestic tool which is used to cut the crop and all. In those days, the blade of sickle used to be made up of stone. Okay, third one. Next one is domestic tools. First of all, what do you mean by domestic? Domestic means all those things which you use in your home. Okay, may it be for the kitchen purpose, may it be for the drawing room purpose, some tools. Okay, so maximum of these tools, these of domestic equipments, may it be for grinding, for mixing, for blending, okay, they were made up of stones. Okay, in those times, in Harappan times, they were not having knowledge of iron. They were not extracting iron metal. Okay, so they were maximum using the stone tools. Okay, may it be for grinding purpose, okay, may it be for mixing purpose, may it be for blending purpose. They were using stone equipments. Okay, clear? I'll give you one very good example of this. Just wait. So up to now I have cleared you almost all the features. Okay, bull plowing was very well known to them. Okay, then terracotta models have been discovered at almost all the Harappan sites. Okay, what are terracotta models? These are soil made or earthen made pots. Okay, that too with artistic beauty. Okay, and good enough to hold either the liquid or the solid material. Okay, so they were having knowledge of making the good pottery items. Okay, 5,000 years old time from today. Okay, irrigation patterns I have told you why it was needed, because the area of almost all the Harappan sites was located in semi-arid zone. Okay, rain was not there for the whole of the year, and even in the rainy season there used to be very less rainfall, not sufficient rainfall. Okay, in that case they would be collecting whatever rain takes place. Okay, Clear? And they would be using it in the time of need. They would be making up of the water reservoirs, and from the water reservoirs they would supplying this water through the canals. Okay, traces of canals have been discovered in Chotu Ghai. Chotu Ghai is a place in present day Afghanistan. So up to now you should make it clear in your understanding that Harappan locations have been spread from Afghanistan to Gujarat of present day India. Okay, these Afghanistan, Pakistan, these all have been separated with time. Earlier they were part of India only. Okay, we are talking of the times of 5,000 years from today, isn't it? So, these particular places have been showing you that how people were doing, how people were working, what concept they had regarding irrigation. Okay, use of stone bricks I have cleared you. I have told you, given you concept of the sickle also, which is locally or in vernacular it is called hasiya. In Marwari language, in Rajasthani language, it is called dantala. Okay, for cutting of the crops they use. Is it? You would have seen this. I have told you. This is iron plate these days. In those days, it used to be stone. It used to be of stone. This is a wooden handle on which it is set. Clear? Through it they cut the crops. Okay. Clear? Question mark type of weapon. Okay. Sickle. So sickle. It is called sickle. Okay. Domestic equipments. I have already told you that most of the domestic metals, domestic equipments were made up either of soil or of stone. Okay, maybe for grinding purpose, maybe for mixing purpose, maybe for blending purpose. Clear? Okay, we'll discuss it in through one more example in detail. Just a minute. Just a minute. On it, a separate question comes. So I'll clear you it very well. Just a minute. So, from the point A to B, I have cleared you very well. Now point number E. Okay, I am providing you one example of this domestic tools. See, in present day, the wheat is crushed in the electronic mills, electronic flour mills. Okay, and you get the atta, wheat atta. Is it? In those days, 5,000 older time, 5,000 years earlier from today. Okay, 5,000 years old from now. How they were doing this? Okay, they had some domestic equipments through which they used to crush the wheat, through which they used to make the wheat flour. Okay, how? Okay, there had been some equipments that is called quens. In Hindi it is called chakki, bhatti. Okay, you would have seen in some of the rural areas, people are still having these quens which were made up of stones. These used to be of two kinds. There used to be of two kinds. First kind. Okay, first kind was saddle quens. In which what would happen, there would be a stone, round shaped stone, okay, hard stone, round shaped hard stone, on which there would be a other smaller stone. Okay, a hole would be there on the upper stone. Okay, they used to insert the wheat from this particular hole, and they used to run this particular stone round over the lower stone. Okay, the upper stone used to move round by the hand. Okay, from this hole they used to insert the wheat continuously there, and while they were running this particular stone, okay, wheat used to be crushed between the stone number 1 and the stone number 2, and this way they used to get the wheat flour, गेहूं का आटा, they used to receive through this way. So such type of quince in which two stones were put on one another, and that was saddle quince. Another one in which there used to be a lower stone like of this, okay, there, in which whatever herbs could be inserted, okay, and a lower stone of very smaller size used to be handled by hand and used to crush the herbs. Like of present day, you would have seen your mothers using imam dasta, you know. You would have observing your mothers or sisters using imam dasta for crushing some of the kitchen items, like of garlic or other things. So just like that, there used to be another type of quince, okay, which was used for crushing herbs and all. Okay, clear? Okay. In those times it used to be called khar. It used to be called khar. Okay. You also say it as kharal is a good word for it. Okay. Sure. Okay. So with that, I have cleared you nicely about the tools which were used by the Harappans, okay, in those times, okay, 5,000 years old from now. Okay, up to now I have cleared you all about this topic. Now we will be moving to the next topic. Okay, welcome once again. So dear learners, I have cleared you about the agricultural and the domestic equipments, or the domestic tricks, or the domestic techniques of Harappans. Up to now I have given you a good sense of that. Okay, actually while we are reading this, students just wanted to make you aware that 5,000 years earlier, what was the life, how people were dealing, what kind of techniques were there, how scientific or logical they were. Okay, so we have made you clear about the Harappans. Okay, now another thing, which is the topic of today, which is the topic of this particular year, is features of a plant town of Harappan civilization. Okay, so we are going to discuss a particular location, okay, which started emerging as a city, which started emerging as a town, because up to now you had been discussing that Harappan sites used to be very small, they used to be rural type of environment, they used to be produced at a very short level and all. Okay, now we are going to discuss that how these towns started growing as, these smaller locations started developing as bigger towns. Okay, what way the urban development took place. Okay, so we are going to observe one particular location of the Harappa, which was a very plant town. What do you mean by plant? Plant means a particular town in which an organization deals with how broad roads would be, okay, how drainage system would be maintained, what way sanitation would be maintained, what would be the size of bricks, how domestic architecture would be created. Okay, all these things are planned. Okay, they are not allowed to let go. Okay, they are taken extreme care of. Is it clear? So we are going to discuss features of a plant town of Harappan civilization. Okay, so first of all, this particular plant town about which we are going to discuss is Mohenjo-daro. It was the first site which had started developing as a city. Okay, which had almost all the features which will make you clear that how nice understanding of urbanization Harappans started developing among themselves. Okay, Mohenjo-daro was a planned urban center. Clear? It had a planned settlement, so it had some specific features which historians had investigated very cautiously. Okay, we will be discussing all these features one by one. Okay, first and foremost feature of the planned town of Harappan civilization, which is Mohenjo-daro. First particular feature is divisions. What do you mean by this? Division means Mohenjo-daro was settled, was made up in such a way that it deals with all kind of problems very easily. Okay, it provides a very systematic kind of administration and arrangements. Okay, so that things could be dealt very better way. Okay, so first and foremost feature was division. What was division? Mohenjo-daro had been divided in two sections. Okay, number one is citadel, and number two was lower town. Citadel, as name suggests, it was a fort, and as fort suggests, it was on height. Okay, from lower town, the citadel or the fort was a little bit higher. Okay, it was a little bit higher from the lower town. All right. First thing, clear? Second thing, almost all administrative offices, including the royal household, would be set up in the citadel. Okay, admin offices, plus royal household would be there in the citadel. All right. Third thing, third and most important thing was that this citadel was protected by a protection wall all around. Okay, you would have heard about the word percotta, a very local word. Percotta means a boundary wall. Okay, a high boundary wall used to protect the fort from all around. Okay, so that outside attack or outside danger could not enter in directly in the fort. So let me clear it once again to you. We are discussing Mohenjo-daro, which was a major site of Harappan civilization. It is also called a planned urban center, first planned urban center. Okay, we are discussing major features of it, and the first feature is division. Mohenjo-daro had been divided in two particular sections. First section was citadel. Citadel was a fort. Okay, it was on height, a particular height. It was created in such a way that it used to be on height. Okay, you would have seen some of the forts nearby your area, maybe of the port of Jodhpur, port of Ajmer. Okay, and most of the forts you would have found on a particular height. So this way only the Mohenjo-daro citadel was created. The second feature was most of the administrative offices, including the royal household, was also set up in the citadel itself. Okay, so authorities or the authoritative persons used to administer from citadel. Okay, and third one, the most important feature, that the fort was protected by a boundary wall from all around. Okay, clear? So that was the general feature. Now the lower town, it was for ordinary man. Okay, it was for the officers and the royal household. Okay, the lower town was for ordinary man. Clear? So that way only it was created. Okay, it was a little bit lower, and lower town was also surrounded by a protection wall around the lower town. There had been a protection wall all around, but it was not as high or as strong as of the citadel. Okay, clear? So these were the two features of these were the two categories of the divisions, which is the first feature of Mohenjo-daro. Now we are going to discuss the another feature. Now we are going to discuss another feature of Mohenjo-daro. First feature was division. Another feature was drainage. Break. Another feature was breaks. It is very, very important. In your junior classes, you would have studied that houses are of two types. Okay, kacha house and pakka house. Kacha houses are generally made up of the soil or some very general material. Okay, and pakka houses are made up of such materials which make houses strong and on which you don't need to work upon again and again. Whereas kacha house needs repair and all after every specific period. Is it? Okay, so bricks are something which make house permanent. Bricks are something which makes house more stronger. Is it? So bricks were the major feature of the Mohenjo-daro, and that especially makes us remind that Mohenjo-daro was having something different, okay, than the other sites. Okay, means it was with the good and strong houses. It could be seen with more better constructions than the other locations. So what kind of bricks were there? Were they having some specific features? Let us study them. Mohenjo-daro people used bricks for construction of the settlements, which were either sun-dried or baked. Okay, so Mohenjo-daro bricks, the people of Mohenjo-daro were using the bricks either sun-dried bricks or baked bricks. Both kind of bricks were used in Mohenjo-daro. Baked means baked in fire. Okay, so these were the two kind of bricks they were using. Here, another important feature of the bricks were that these bricks had specific ratio. Length ratio, breadth ratio, height. Okay, so these bricks were standardized ratio where the length and breadth were 4 times and twice the height respectively. 4:2:1 was the ratio of the Mohenjo-daro bricks. Means if height is 1, breadth would be twice and length would be 4 times. Clear? So that was the way bricks were made up of. Okay, almost all Harappan bricks or all Mohenjo-daro bricks were made up in this ratio only. Okay, that was giving a specific kind of construction, specific kind of look to the Harappan buildings, Harappan constructions. Okay, so this was the specific feature of Mohenjo-daro. Now we move to the third feature. Bricks, I think I have sufficiently cleared you. Two kinds, sun-dried or baked. Okay, having a specific ratio, length, breadth and height. If height is 1, breadth would be twice, length would be 4 times. Okay, so length, breadth and height ratio would be 4:2:1. Is that okay? Now we move ahead. The third feature. The third feature was drainage, which is very, very important. I said that drainage is very, very important. Why? Last year you studied about Mesopotamia in your history, okay, and there you studied about Ur, okay, and for Ur it was remarked that Ur was unplanned city, okay, and what was the specific unplanned? That they didn't have any kind of facility for the domestic water, how domestic water would pass. For that they didn't had any kind of specific arrangements, is it? And that's why the Ur used to be a dirty city, or used to be having the slushy roads, is it? Slushy means very dirty roads, very unplanned roads, is it? Okay, but in Mohenjo-daro it was not so. Okay, they had very planned way as far as the drainage is considered. Drainage in Harappan locations was very carefully planned. Carefully planned. What way? Let me. Carefully planned means before any kind of colonial construction, before any kind of settlement, first they used to focus on the drainage. Okay, means how the domestic water would pass. Okay, what way the domestic water would allow to go, or if there is water on the road, how it would be channelized to the drains. Okay, that was planned first. Clear? Second thing is roads and streets were laid out. Roads and streets were laid out in such a way, were constructed in such a way that water does not collect on the roads and it directly pass in the drainage nearby. Okay, street with drains was laid out first and then houses were built. This I have already cleared you. In any settlement, in any kind of colonial construction, they used to focus on, before the house construction, they used to discuss, they used to keep in mind that how drain would be constructed, what way the streets water would be moving into the drain. Likewise, if construction is created, domestic water, what way domestic water would be released in the drainage. Okay, so that during the rain as well as during the general season, water does not get collects in or around the settlement. Okay, every house needed to have at least one wall along the street to let domestic water flow in drain in proper way. Okay, that was another feature. Okay, this you should this I'll clear you, that every house had to create a particular wall which would be constructed along with the street drain, and it would be having a hole through which the domestic water would be released in the street drain. Is it okay? Clear? every house was connected to street drain very well way, so that water does not go in an unmanaged way. Clear? Okay. Next is the street drains were made up of bricks. Okay, these were not kacha drains, these were not the rough drains, these were made up of the bricks, so that they could last longer. Okay, they could be used for longer duration, so that they were made up of bricks. As I have already told you that Harappans were using the sun-dried or the baked bricks. If bricked drains are made up, they would longer last. They would last longer. Okay, they would be working for more duration. Is it clear? Okay. House drains. There used to be house drains also, which used to be constructed in such a way that water flows directly in a systematic way up to the street drain, and water does not get collected inside the water as well as into the streets. Okay, so house drains and the street drains were well connected. They were constructed in a very well managed way, so water does not collect inside as well as outside. Okay, clear? So up to now I have cleared you 3 features. First was division, second was breaks, third was drainage. Okay. Rest of the features we will be studying in the next video. Thank you.